Welcome to the Lazy Fluency podcast, where we have casual conversations switching between English and Japanese so that you can learn from and with us along the way. I'm Joey.
And I'm Miami.
And the topic of the day is
日本のトイレ.
But before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and drop a review on whatever platform you're listening on. We appreciate the support. And with that out of the way,
日本のトイレ.
Yay, toilets.
はい。で、このトピックはね、ちょっとなんでこれにしたかっていうと、今日本がやっと開国しまして、で、多分、みんな驚くかもしれないし、もう来たことある人はすでに知ってると思うんだけど、日本のトイレってすごいんだよ。
Oh, this is actually a public service announcement, is what you're saying, to help out people traveling to Japan.
そうだね。ちょっとそういうのもあるし、そうだね。そう、比較っていうかね。っていうのもしていきたいと思います。で、まず、日本の前に、じゃあアメリカのトイレはどんな感じですか？
It depends. So if you're we're talking about toilets in people's houses, I would like to say it's straightforward, but maybe that's just straightforward to me. You have a circular seat. You have the part you can lift up, the seat on the toilet. You have the lid, and that's it. Then you have the lever that you flush. You get on the toilet, you do your business, you flush.
Do your business?
There you go. There's an American toilet. There's another version.
Public は?
Yeah. Well, there are urinals as well, which are for guys, where it's like on the wall, and you have to walk up, you're standing up, and you pee into it. But what I was talking about as in the other kind is sort of like outhouses. So like outdoor, if you like go camping or anything like that, a lot of times they just have outhouses, which don't have any running water. But other than that, they're pretty similar to a toilet. You get on, do your business. The only difference is that it smells terrible because of the fact that there is no sewage, or there's no sewage system. So it just like gets into a container, and everybody can smell it. So.
すごいね。
Yeah. Oh, obviously, yeah. And you wipe with toilet paper in America.
それはアメリカじゃなくてもトイレットペーパーは日本でも使いますよ。
Yeah, but it's less popular in some place. I might get in a conversation about the different plies of toilet paper, but that's a separate conversation.
あとね、私がグアムとかに行った時にすごいちっちゃい頃に行った時に驚いたのが、まず足元が見えるっていうのがすごいショックだった。足元っていうかもうほぼさ、
Oh, yeah.
足がめっちゃ見えるじゃん。もう下半身全部見えるんじゃないかってぐらいさ、足が。
I completely forgot about that. I've heard the rationale has to do something with either it's easier to like break in or if somebody has trouble, but I personally think it's probably just a cost-saving measure that was implemented, because it's so ridiculous to think that like somebody would have difficulty saving you from the inside of a stall just because the stall goes all the way to the ground. Because you can just unscrew the hinges, so that has never made much sense to me.
なんで開いてるんだろうね、あれ。
Oh, the worst part is also there are gaps in between a lot of the stalls.
見えるじゃん。もはや見える。
Yeah, no, it's awful actually. And like even as an American, I've always thought it's awful. Where anytime you like, what?
わざとさ、そこのドアの
You can't. Okay, it's like here's how I see it. If you have a white piece of paper and you put a red dot on it, your eyes can't help but look at the red dot. With stalls in America, if you're like taking a shit and you're sitting on the stall and you're looking at the door, you can't help but notice the gap. And then suddenly now you're looking outside the gap. So you're aware of the gap. And if somebody comes in because they know the gap exists and their eyes glance, sometimes I meet somebody's eyes as they look through the gap and I see them and I'm like, what is going on here? This is awful. It's such terrible engineering. I don't know how we got that so wrong.
ねえ、びっくりだよね。 あとなんだっけな。トイレットペーパーが異様にでかいとかね。なんかこんなさ、コストコとかのトイレとかさ、なんか太くてもこんな感じでもう、木の丸太ぐらいのさ、ね、トイレットペーパーだよね、多分。
I don't think I've ever I've seen obviously paper towels, toilet paper. Oh, sometimes they have triple or double rolls that are meant for what is the word for them? They're not outhouses. This is a very simple word that I'm forgetting, but basically outdoor toilets. They're like a plastic house. This is a super simple word. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Well, no, I'm just forgetting the English word for it. This is embarrassing.
English, yeah.
But yeah, if you go to a concert, they're just like these plastic outdoor toilets. Oh man, I'll remember later. I can't believe I'm forgetting this word. But whatever. Sometimes it happens like that.
ね、もうお尻とか、まあ結構ダイレクトな言い回しになっちゃうけどさ、切れるようなあんななんかね、硬いトイレットペーパー使ってた。
Yeah. No, well, that's what I was saying earlier about the ply. So one ply means one like layer of toilet paper. So two plies, two and three.
そう、ダブルとか言うよ、日本語。そうそう。
Yeah. So I only single ply is really used in public spaces.
やっぱそうなんで、やっぱりいろんな人使うからコスト削減っていうかね。
Yeah.
なるほどね。まあじゃあとりあえずそんな感じなのがアメリカのトイレ事情でございますが、じゃあ日本のトイレはまあすごいので結構有名で、でやっぱり外国人はね、日本来るとすごい驚くらしいんだけど、でじゃあまず何で驚くかっていうのがまあ結構リストがあって、ちょっとじゃあバーって言ってくね。はい、まず一つ目、なんで日本のトイレがすごいかっていうのが、一つ目、無料。OK。
Wait, hold
二つ目。
Okay. Just gonna, in America, most toilets, I don't think I've ever had to pay for a toilet. I think in other countries you do. Yeah, but in America, toilets tend to be free.
フランスは確かね、ペイしないといけないんだよ。行った時ペイしないといけなかった。
Okay, so we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
まあそうね。無料、清潔、まあ綺麗ってことね。あと、ウォシュレット。便座がある。トイレットペーパーが柔らかい。キッズ用トイレ。髪が流せる。赤ちゃん用の椅子。非常ベル。便座があったかい。乙姫。あと着替え台。あとはかざすだけで流れるとか、まあいろいろなのあるんだけど、じゃあなんか聞きたいことある、今挙げた中で。
That's a lot more than I guess I know what you're talking about with all the things in the list. Well, except for the last one, was it かざすだけで流される？
そうだからなんかフラッシュするときに多分レバー使うじゃん。普通は。
Yeah.
けどそのデパートとか多分いろんなお店でなんていうの？あれどうやって作動してるかわかんないんだけど、手をこうやってかざすだけで流れるの。
Yeah, I mean there are automatic ones in the US, which is a thing. But for the most part, this is actually pretty interesting. Well, I mean, I'll think about the other ones that you said in the list. So the ones that struck me as weird, because a toilet was one of the first things that I took a picture of when I went to Japan. Probably like the 10th picture I took when one of the first places I stayed in. Yeah, I took a picture of it because something you didn't list is the remote controls. There was a remote attached to the toilet, and you could actually like pick it up.
そうね。
And it was it was connected. It was like, so it was flat. So it was like flat to the right of the toilet, but you could like go like this, and then you could mess with the settings.
あれでしょ、お尻、それだからあれでしょ、ウォシュレットでしょ。
Oh, is that what you mean by that's what washlet means in Japanese? I thought that was something else. I thought you just meant like on top of the toilet. How you can like wash your hands on the top of the toilet sometimes in Japan. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they have the toilet, and then there's the head of the toilet where the water, I guess, I don't know if it comes through there or whatever, but sometimes on the top there's a sink. So it uses the water as a sink when you flush it. Like the clean water, not the dirty water.
あれ日本のものなのあれ。
I'm pretty sure.
まあそのトイレのタイプによっても違うけど、あれ多分最新ではないと思うよ。最新ではないけど、まあでも私のその家のトイレもなんかその流れるやつ。上から。
Yeah.
不思議だよね。
Okay.
あれ日本のなんだ。まあいいや。
But yeah, there's a lot. Oh yeah, the hot water. So the things that looked that remote was weird to me. I wasn't actually able to figure out. I find it weird how many options they give you for the type of stream, because most the toilets are bidets, as in they shoot water at your butthole, and they have different options like beat, kind of like dit, 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 and then there's like a steady stream, and I can't remember. There was one that was like then you could also adjust the pressure, so like how hard of or strong of a current you wanted to clean your butt. And so I also remember there being modes about how it would actually flush. I might be misremembering, but the water temperature is probably the thing that actually threw me for the biggest loop, because I couldn't see it initially, and I didn't realize it was actually bidet. And then I was shot with water, and not only was I surprised at that, but then it was warm water, and I was just like it was like a mini panic attack on the toilet, because I was in an apartment complex, and I did not know what was going on. Yeah.
なるほどね。まあでもやっぱりウォシュレットっていうのは、多分ウォシュレット知らない人もいるかもしれないけど、ウォシュレットっていうのは、TOTO っていうそのトイレの会社があるんだけど、そこのが開発したその機能で、今日本だとね、一般家庭で 70% もそのウォシュレットがある、トイレを使ってるらしい。そうそうそう。
ね、I'm surprised it's not higher.
まあでも there's still その和式トイレとかもあるしね、あと普通のそういうトイレ和式 like スクワットするトイレ。
Oh, 和式. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah, that's not, oh god, is that for one, is that actually 和式? I thought that's not just a Japanese thing. Is that just a Japanese? Yeah. Oh, but you guys claimed you're just claiming that as Japanese by saying 和式。
だからその便座がある座るタイプのは洋式トイレっていうの。
No, I'm saying that the ones that you get down to the Asian squat to go to the bathroom, I thought that was just an Asian, like an East Asian thing, not necessarily, or even more so than East Asian. I thought that was just an Asian thing, like even Indian.
あ、そうなんだ。
Well, I don't know. I just assumed. Obviously, the first time oh gosh, it was traumatic. The first time I actually encountered one in Japan, I went to a park. And I really had to go to the bathroom, and it was a stall. So I was like, okay, we're cool. And it was a really clean bathroom facility. So I was like, let's go. This is awesome. Then I open the stall, and then it's just a hole in the ground. And not only is there just a hole in the ground, or whatever, the washki style, there is no toilet paper. That is evil. So, but then I already went all the way to the bathroom. So my whole body was ready of the, what's called pooping mode. So at that point, there was no turning back. And I'm not going to get into TMI, but it was a very sad experience. Very, very traumatic. Well, so what is up with that? Why? I think I knew this before I went to Japan. But oh gosh, we should have mentioned that last week. But sometimes in bathrooms, they don't provide anything to wash your hands with. Sorry, not to dry your hands off with, nor do they sometimes provide toilet paper. So something I did after my traumatic experience is I always carry a clean roll of toilet paper on me in my backpack when I was traveling around Japan. Yeah. Because a lot of the public toilets don't.
先週のね、その日本に来るなんか注意点みたいな、そのやった時に言えばよかったね。その大体公園とかに ついてる簡易式のトイレとかでってやっぱりあんまり管理が届いてないから結構な割合でトイレットペーパーがないとかあるから、そこはね、まあ、トイレットペーパーじゃなくてもティッシュ、ポケットティッシュだったりそういうの持ってった方が安全だね。そうそう、それはね言えてる。
Tissues are not. Maybe it's because my diet is terrible and I have a terrible American diet, but the tissues would not get the job done for me. Also, nor do bidets. Honestly, I feel like so. I talked about the pressure modes of the Japanese toilet, and I would always have it on max because I wanted it to work because I was like, wow, it would be nice to not have to go through so much toilet paper, just using the toilet. But it didn't do. It just made everything worse. I'm not gonna get too detailed, but it made everything worse. It didn't. It's like getting I don't know. I feel like any way I could describe this would just be very unpleasant to people listening. But it did not clean everything. It just made it worse. That's how I'll describe it. It is, and then I had to default to using toilet paper, but now everything's wet on top of it. So it's just like I think maybe the reason the bidets work is if you have a very fibrous diet, or something like that. But my personal experience, although I would like to like bidets, they were traumatic. They didn't work the way they were advertised. Oh, I will say the heated toilet seats are nice. That is nice.
なんて言うんだろうな、便座があったかい、なんか名前あったかな、忘れたけど、そうそう。そういうのもやっぱり日本のね、ことだし、あとはね、これ言いたいな。なんか乙姫って知ってる？乙姫。
No, you said that, and I was like, what does it mean, otohime? Oh, is that this? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I think I actually have heard of. But I know what this means. I think.
そう。音に姫って書く。姫ってプリンセスの姫な。音はサウンドね。なんだけど、これ何をするかっていうと、多分女の人のトイレだけなのかな。男の人はどうかわかんないけど。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
うん。やっぱり音が聞こえちゃうじゃん、他のね、人に。だからそれをかぶせる、その音にかぶせるのに、その違う音が流れるっていうそのシステムがあるんだけど、なんかね。
It's kind of like noise canceling, except not.
そうそう。
I always thought that was weird though, because it just, if anything, you're just announcing the fact that you are pooping basically, or using the bathroom.
まあだけどやっぱりさ、なんて言うんだろうね。
Do people actually use it? The otohime?
本当にみんな使ってるよ。
That's hilarious. I wish you could install your own music on the otohime.
携帯でロックミュージック。
Yeah, like an app. And then so when you could like scare people, maybe have it some yakuza person yelling anytime you go in the bathroom, so that they leave, so that you'll have your personal space.
だからまあ、もし踊姫がないトイレ行っちゃったら自分のミュージックアプリで流すのもいいかもね。
Yeah, that's the next version of toilets. They still have longer ways to improve. But I feel like for guys, there are just tricks, not with number 2, but with going number 1. There are tricks that you can do where you basically aim for the side of the bowl, and it's kind of like a marble going down a what are they called? One of those. I'm not sure if they have these in Japan, but sometimes they have these kind of well-like cylindrical, well, not cylindrical, but circular cones where you slide a penny and it goes around in a circle until it falls down. But that's kind of the strat if you're a guy to prevent you peeing from making any sound. Yeah. But you don't have that strategy if you have to sit down to pee.
あとは着替え台っていうのもあるんだけど、その個室のトイレ、やっぱりこれも女の人のトイレだと、そのなんて言うんだろう、壁にそのなんかついてて、それを倒すとその上でそのチェンジクローズができるの。着替える。
What? Wait, what? How does this work in a public space?
そうだ、例えば、個室の中。個室の中
Oh,
に
oh,
トイレあるじゃん。
oh, 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 okay.
そう
Okay, yeah,
で、
yeah, yeah.
例えば女の人だったらストッキング履くとか、やっぱり地面の上だと汚いからさ、着替えるために、ある
It's
のは結構ね、デパートだと結構あ
I
るよ。
don't actually I'm trying to envision this. It's you can hang your clothes on it maybe or what how does it help you put on your clothes? Do you have a set you brought a second pair of clothes is what you're saying.
そうだから自分の着替えてるものを自分が持ってたら、地面に足をつけるのは汚いから、壁にこうやって重なってこうやってなってるのがなんか備え付けられてて、それを倒すとここ地面だから、地面の上に立たなくても、この上で着替えられ
Wait,
るよって。
you're stepping on top of something?
そうそうそう。こうやってなってるのをこう
I
やって倒して。
literally I cannot imagine what this I thought it was like you can put your why can't you just put your clothes onto a hook or something?
あれもあるね。そうそう。なんかバッグとかもかけるためにドアの後ろとか壁とかにもフックがあって、そこにね重い荷物かけたりとか、チャイルドシートがあったり、
Yeah. There's something related to this topic which I feel I must ask, which because there's always this is a and I was watching a this anime called Yofukashi no Uta, and in the latest episode I saw they had something which is also a thing in America where for some reason there's this fascination from the male perspective or this idea that like the women's toilets or bathrooms are always have like way more cool stuff or something in them. I don't know where this idea comes from, but the idea is that the men's toilet is terrible and it's gross, but and they put all the money into the women's toilet and deck it out with TVs and other cool stuff that the men don't get. So can you confirm or deny any of these rumors? Are there any cool
でもクールは確かに絶対に女の人のトイレの方が綺麗なのはパウダールームね、お化粧とかする、
ね、damn. Okay.
とかちゃんとなんかそれが一つのルームみたいなになってるところとかもあって、なんかカフェっぽいの、なんか壁とかなんかタイルっぽくて、あとライトがいろんなとこついてたり、大きい鏡。
Okay, so this is oh my gosh, it's true. The rumors are true.
そうね。まあ TV はないけど。
Is this wait, hold up? Is this like high school or what?
ハイスクールじゃない、デパートとかね、お店。
Okay, but this would be for like a clothing store.
クローディストアもまああるとこあるんじゃない？場所によると思うけど。そう。
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never been into the craziest thing I've seen in a bathroom is just like in rural America, they just had like what was it? Grape flavored studded condoms being sold in like a dispensary.
なんで
トイレ? Yeah. Yeah. It was gross though, because it's like it was not a oh my gosh. I'm just blanking on English. This is a struggle today.
女の人のトイレではやっぱりピリオドの
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
用品とかもそう買えるところもある。なんか一個一個とかね。
Porta potty. The word I was looking for around 10 minutes ago was porta potty. Porta potties are outdoor plastic toilets. Oh my god. Oh, that feels good. Don't know why I couldn't remember porta potty. It's a portable potty. Potty meaning toilet.
そういうことね。
Potty.
パリ。なるほどね。まあ、
yeah.
そうそう、そんな感じかな。だから、まあ、とりあえず忘れてはいけないのは、トイレットペーパーだったり、ティッシュペーパーを忘れずにね、公園のトイレ使うときはね、持っていくといいと思いますって感じかな。
戻った。
We're back!
今週、とてもいいニュースがあります。
What's the news?
ついに、新しい動画が、メインチャンネルの動画ってことが完成しました。完成された。 やったよ
When are we gonna release the new video on main
今週、まあ、この、ポッドキャストがアップロードされるの1日前、まあ、いつもアップロードされてるのは、何でしたっけ月曜日まあ、アメリカの月曜日。
Yeah, American
でも今回は、前の日曜日に投稿する予定、まあ、アップロードする予定。
Yeah. If everything goes well, we can upload a new video on main channel on Japanese Sunday, right? And American Monday.
いや、アメリカの日曜日。日本の月曜日。そう。
What? Yeah.
そう。
Japanese
マジで
yeah.
頑張った。この動画を作るには。前の動画と全然違うんだけど、この動画はもっとなんか幅広い、なんていうか、対象視聴者というんですかね。でも、日本語を勉強してる人にとっては、もちろん好きと思うんだけど、勉強しなくても、ただ日本の文化に興味を持ってる人でも、この動画を楽しむことができるのではないかと思う。マジで頑張ったんだから。
ね。We're not gonna spoil the detail, but hope you guys enjoy the new video. Yep.
でもなぜこんなになんか時間かかったかというと、もちろん編集と動画の録音もあったんだけど、それと、私とあゆみの、なんていうか、今持ってる、なんていうか、マイクとカメラ、他のやつも買わなくちゃいけなかったので、それの、何でしたっけ注文するの時間と、もちろん待たなくちゃいけない時間が結構あったから。でもまあ、すごく頑張ったので、ぜひぜひ見てください。今週の、まあ、今、ポッドキャスト聞いてるなら、もうアップロードされてると思うので、lazyfluency のメインチャンネルに見てください。を見てください。
So like people can find the main channel on this podcast channel, right? Like related.
そう、まあ YouTube の何でしたっけ？関連じゃなくて、まあわかんないんだけど、My Channels かな？
My Channels? Yeah, sure.
わかんないんだけど、lazyfluency で見れると思うので、ぜひぜひ。
Yeah, that's the biggest news we have today. Yeah.
マジで嬉しい。頑張った。で、他の、まあ、いいニュースか悪いニュースかどうかわかんないんだけど、日本の入国再開というニュースがあったんだけど、切符めっちゃ高い。すごく高い。日本に行きたいんだけど、まあ、どうやってできるかというのはちょっとなんていう、今の時点で不明です。
Yeah. Is it because many people will come to Japan, so the price goes up?
いや、普通は1000以上ドルかかるんだけど、
So it's probably
今
more
日か
than
昨日か、実は、多分今の時点で1500ドルとかかかると。
Wow, 15万。Wow, that's a lot.
で、場所によって違う。2000ドル以上かかるところもあるし、まあ私が見てたのはロサンゼルス、の切符を買うとそれは500しかかからない。でも今の時点でそれも1000ドル以上かかる可能性もある。みんなが日本にいたがってるんだから。
Yeah. Like
何でしたっけロサンゼルスの空港。LAX そう LAX 結構有名。
Yeah, if there's people for listening and watching this podcast and have private jets or something.
ぜひぜひ。
Please bring Joey to Japan.
そう。乗らせてください。
That's the only way, right? To come to
感謝いたしますので。
Yeah, we really. Oh yeah, we will make those people as VIPs for this channel, so that's the
そう、
reward.
シャウトアウトもするので、
That's not enough. But
いや、
yeah,
2回
yeah,
シャウトアウ
that's
ト。
the- Yeah, double shoutouts. So, yeah.
出会いみ最近買ったものあるでしょ
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't got the product, but yesterday I bought this hammock, indoor and outdoor hammock on Amazon as usual. Yeah, and I'm so excited because sitting in front of the desk and study all day really tires my eyes and my neck and body. So I thought I would get hammock to relax or something, or maybe probably study on hammocks. Yeah.
う。だいたいうちだけそれとも公園とか。
Yeah, I can use that. Yeah, at a park if there are trees to hang.
ルールあるのその、なんかハモックを使えるかどうかというルールとか
I'm。not sure.
日本ではルールばっかりの国なので、そういう
Yeah.
迷惑になるので、ハモックを使わないようにしてください。
Yeah. That probably happens. I don't know. Like, I've never seen people using hammocks at parks.
私も見たことないし。
Yeah. But maybe in Tokyo, people do that. But like where I live, yeah, I've never seen. Yeah. So we'll see.
でも気のあるやつは、まあ、東京にあまりないので、まあ公園に関してはあるんだけど。
There's Yoyogi Koen or something. Do you know Yoyogi Koen? It's a big
そう、行ったこ
park
とあ
in
る。
Tokyo. Yeah. So those type of park, well, no, it's a really good place to use hammocks. But
うん。
yeah, I don't know. That's my update. Yeah.
And we're back with the final section. And if you've reached the final section, then you should write. Normally, I would start with, you should send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com, which I just technically did start with. But I would like to encourage you all to give us an Apple review. Please, we love them. And you'll get a shout out at the top of the episode. And this week's episode is dedicated to nobody because we haven't gotten more Apple reviews. That could be you, though.
悲しいね。
Yeah. And this week, we didn't get any emails to lazyfluency@gmail.com. But we have our trusty all-star commenter of Shockox, who wrote a behemoth of a comment. And given that he's our only comment, I'm kind of tempted to read his comment. It's really long. Normally, I don't read it in full because it's quite long if we have other comments. But it's a fun comment, so I think I'll just read it in full.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. It's wild that your podcast episode caused Japan to open. At least it's a narrative I'm going to tout. Also, I think there's a lot of success chance just walking up to random people at parks and stuff. He's talking about in terms of just having a good conversation with somebody by just randomly walking up to them. Even in America, there are chances that you'll be denied, but there are also chances that you'll have a really good time. My best times come from putting myself in those situations. I'm going to be taking notes on places to go because I'm definitely going to visit the country one day. I need to see the countryside and the city and everything. I think I'll follow the Joey idea and pick a certain area every time I go. If I'm at this workplace for 15 years, I'll be able to take month-long vacations. So once I'm 40 maybe, I'll take a bit more time, really seeing everything. Or I'll switch jobs and have no more life plans. I really hope adding travel doesn't do much to COVID cases. Most that I see are from people on planes and in airports. What I'm thinking is that if people respect the masks and use the sanitizer, they should be okay-ish. Most of Japan is using public transport and they're generally doing all right with corona. So the plane travel shouldn't bring much extra bad unless people are also doing extra bad. Unfortunately, I don't trust people to do the right things. You got to tell Americans to wash their hands after using the bathroom. So other stuff probably isn't going to happen with everyone. Also, with the second comment, so we had a comment extravaganza last week. So there was also a comment from a marathon runner who wanted to run Japan. It sounds like you also appeal to runners. I tend to listen to this podcast a lot while I'm running as well. I've done half marathon distances, but my real end goal is to run a 100-miler and or run a marathon with no shoes. I have the barefoot shoes and run well on those. But if I can at least do one marathon barefoot, I'll have lived. I'm a huge fan of early morning runs with sunrises and pretty stuff. I'll go on trails here in Utah a lot. As for reading about specific topics, I like to start with Quora and find some answers on topics in the language as well. Just a good website for apps for questions and answers, and one that I frequent a lot. And it is frequented in Japan as well as the US. Also, for thinking in another language, the input really does a lot. I would take 10-minute sections of audiobooks and listen to them over and over. After, like a lot of listens, those sections are kind of burned into my head. And then, as happened this morning, something that just sat in my brain for a while came up, which is hayakushite, over a few times. I didn't know what it meant when I was listening in January, but the phrase has been juggling around in there and just popped up as a passing thought this morning. Except I knew what it meant. I have little moments like that, and I'm sure any language learning type does. I'm probably going to go back through and listen to the audiobook again and see what kind of changes I've gone through. I think this feels a little longer than usual. I'm sure you'll have fun condensing this one down, lol. We did not condense this one down, and man, that was a long comment.
ね、まあいつも通りね、小学生ありがとうございます、も
う。Do you have any thoughts, Amy? That was all.
まあ、マラソンをさ、裸足で走るって可能なのかな？
I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about his marathon.
まず100メートル走るのでも多分さ、辛いと思う。なんか芝生だったらいいけどさ、アスファルトのね、その石がジャリジャリっておかしいな。砂利がいっぱいあるとこだとね、多分きついと思うけど、まあね。
Yeah, that seems like that's actually a good point. I think when you for long distance shoes tend to be very thick. Like they have very thick soles. But even so, yeah, that's a very good point. Even a runner, it's really common to get shin splints, which are like when your shin, technically, I think, pulls away, like it's like micro tears, and they pull away, like tendons pull away from the bone, and that causes pain. But 100 miles, yeah, that's crazy. That's a very good point. I wonder how your legs can take that much repeated pressure. But that's the thing people do. They're called ultra marathons. Although normally they're only 50 miles, 100 miles is insane. And running a marathon without shoes sounds, unless you don't wear shoes like for like 5 years and you have massive calluses, it sounds so incredibly difficult. I know there is yeah, go ahead.
なんかさ、なんだっけな、仏教？わかんない、仏教でも履くか。けどなんかさ、個人的なさ、信念でさ、靴を履かない方が地面を感じられて生きてる感があるみたいな人いるじゃん。なんかテレビでどこで、なんか
well, and yeah, you're talking about Buddha. Yeah, when they walk in, they climb, they do hikes in the snow.
そう。なんかそういう人はさ、普段そういう、なんていうの、地面からの刺激を受けてるからさ、足の裏がさ、結構分厚くなってんだよ。で、怪我しないようにね、皮膚がもう硬くなって、そう進化してるからさ、そういう人はもしかしたらできるかもしれないけどさ、普通の人が走ったらかなりの怪我につながるからね。
Yeah, if I was gonna do that, I would start by walking barefoot everywhere for like probably a full year before I even considered running on like asphalt barefoot. You'll get shredded, completely running on asphalt. Bare feet does not sound like a good vibe at all.
身長のも伸びるかもね。足の裏がこんだけさ。
Oh yeah, you'll get massive calluses. Either that or you'll get gangrene or something through cuts and you'll lose a couple feet from the bottom of your body. Oh, that was a pun. Couple feet and a couple feet. Don't even worry about it.
まああとなんだ
So he had a comment about, oh man, yeah, I said it was a lot, about Americans basically doubting that people will follow the rules in Japan, which could lead to a further lockdown.
まあやっぱね、結構ね、私、東京とか行くとやっぱりそれだけ、まあ、都会だからさ、外国人いっぱいいるじゃん。働いてたり、もう本当に住んでる人とか、外国人で。で、なぜかわかんないけど結構マスクをしてない人多いよね。外国人割合的に。
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but what I will say is everybody notices when a foreigner does it because they don't look Japanese.
そうだからもう それがもし私が見た時に日本人の見た目だったらなんかちょっと非常識な人だなって思っちゃうとは思うん
But
だ
I'm
け
saying
ど。
I do think they'd be less noticeable than a foreigner, especially one that's not white or not white, sorry, not light skin. Like if it's like a black foreigner, they stick out incredibly in Japan. So if they do anything,
うん、
it's probably going to be, for one, even if it's the only foreigner somebody knows is doing something, it'll probably stick in their head. Or if they've seen other foreigners wear masks, when they think of foreigners, they'll probably think of the one that was most different. And to most Japanese people, that's going to be somebody with not fair skin. And so if they have a positive or negative interaction, they'll probably generalize that to all foreigners. And given that, I mean, just Asians in general, literally irrespective of East Asia, literally all Asians, even Indians who are brown themselves, there is a prejudice towards black people, or when you get very dark skin. This is funny because, well, not even funny is the right word, but this is even true in non-Asian countries. I mean, obviously America, is even in South America and Central America, there are negative sentiments towards like very, very dark skin people, but especially in East Asia. So I definitely think that you can be even if the majority of the people are following the rules, one person can make everybody go crazy. And in terms of blaming the wrong people, it's kind of how people thought that foreigners were bringing COVID into Japan, and even when they locked down, they still were getting a bunch of cases, and then they had to nobody admitted anything, but it's clear that it wasn't just foreigners the reason that COVID was spreading. I was even talking to a friend who like went to the university I did, who came, I guess he's a kikokushijo, or a returnee to Japan. And he even thought that, in my opinion, really dumb thing, that Japanese people don't spread COVID, it's just foreigners. And I was like, oh man, even somebody who I thought wasn't as brainwashed was still brainwashed to that extent. But
なんかさ、例えるとさ、なんか、なんていうの、コーラス、その合唱コーラスでいいのかな？
Yeah, choir.
クワイアか、そうそう、なんか何十人ものさ、まあ、例えば20人としてさ、20人で歌う中でさ、みんなハーモニーを奏でてるのに、一人がめちゃくちゃ下手だったらその人が目立つじゃん。
Yeah.
で、なんていうの？ destroy everything じゃん。だからそれとやっぱ似てるよね。やっぱり一人がさ、目立った行動しちゃうと、それが
I don't think it's the kodo. I'm saying if a Japanese person did the same machigatteta kodo, they like didn't wear a mask, it's no big deal.
まあそうね。
If somebody who's black who does it, it's, oh man, foreigners are ruining Japan.
まあ、
in
ブラ
my
ックだけで
personal
もない
opinion.
と思うけどね。
It's not just, but I'm just saying, definitely the more color you have on your skin, the more you will stick out in Japan. Just straight
多
up.
分ね、color っていうか、
It's definitely color. It's definitely. I've heard so.
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard a
color,
single
it's-
positive
it's-
interview. What?
あれだ
Okay,
よ。
go ahead.
日本は、Japan has this なんて言うんだろう。なんて言うの？白人尊敬みたいな。なんか、白人主義みたいなのが結構あるんだよ、やっぱり。still。だから、アジア人がやっても多分そう思うと思うよ。アジア人、例えば中国だったり、韓国だったり、タイだったり、フィリピンだったり。そっからの人がマスクしてなかったら、外国人マスクしてないってなるけど、白人がやってなかったら、あんまり、
Oh, yeah. Obviously, by color, I mean the darker you are. The lighter you are, the more leeway you have. So what I'm saying is, that was my point.
そうそうそう。っていうのも、まあ、ね、まあ、それもやっぱり人によるけど、まあ、そういうのも否めないよね。そう。
Well, I kind of see it as in the, at least for me, positive way, being not. So I'm not the blackest dude, but I am brown. And technically, I think I'm like 40% or like 35-40% African, like in terms of my genetics, my blood. But how I see it is, in Japan, the more different you are, the more power you have in changing people's perspectives, because the more you stick out and you have a positive interaction, the more you're able to fundamentally alter someone's bias. But if you're more similar to other people they've met before, like, or you look Japanese or you look Asian, then regardless of what you do, you're part of a larger sample size. So you will have less of an effect in terms of their general impression of that specific group. But the power you hold as a very small minority in Japan is large because, like I said, if they've only ever talked to 2 foreigners in their life and you're one of them and they had a good impression, then unless the other guy screwed it up really badly, this person probably has a positive impression of foreigners. And that was probably one of the reasons that I had such a good experience in Japan, is I was able to at least give people good impressions and I didn't have any problems. As much as I do think there's a lot of xenophobia. I don't know if xenophobia, maybe, xenophobia as in the fear of, but I don't think there's a hatred. I just think people are so scared of anything that doesn't look like them in Japan. Yeah.
まあそうね。まあジョイはあれだね、日本人にいいインプレッションを与えられたのかな。
I mean, hopefully. I don't recall scaring any Japanese people. Oh, I do have one fun bathroom story. Now, just to end that episode on, because that's completely random, but it's kind of related to our first topic. I think I might have talked about this as well, where in America, because of the slits in the doorway, I had a very terrifying moment where I walked into a gas station bathroom and I had longer hair. It was actually not really long. It was more poofy hair as a kid. And a trucker walks in and then sees me and then walks out. And then I hear he's like, "Hey, there's a girl in the bathroom." And then I was like, and I look around like, there's nobody else here. I'm like, oh no, he thinks it's me. So then I went inside the stall and then I put my feet up on the toilet so they can't see. That's a hack. That's a life hack. So they can't see under it. And then I had to have, as the manager or somebody just walking back and forth, be like, "Where is this girl?" And then they both were then walking back and forth and I could see them. And then I'd hide so they couldn't see me through the slit and I'd slide back. And then, it was terrifying. I was like, I'm not a girl in the guy's bathroom, but yeah, I just remembered that.
そんなさ、あれ、どうやったら間違えられるの?
I don't know. I've been told I look youthful, and maybe that's associated with it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but even though I'm 25, 6 times this summer, sadly, it's not summer any longer, but I've been mistaken for under 18. So that means when I was actually like younger, people probably thought I was like 4 or something.
なんかそれも、なんかさ、不思議に思ったのがさ、男のトイレの中に女いることがさ、そんなあれなの？逆だったらもっとやばいと思うよ。女のトイレに男が行ったらもっとやばいと思うんだけど。
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like sex, testosterone, aggression. Yeah, I mean, I just think, yeah, I mean, yeah. Yes, that is true. That bell means we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks for joining us in another lazy conversation towards fluency. If you have any language-related questions and or just looking for general advice, send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com and we might respond in the next episode. Also, make sure to check out our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. We'd appreciate the support. This has been Joey.
And Ayami.
Signing off. Jane. Write a review on Apple Podcasts and send an email, please.